Today's flight we will be doing a 11-hour long haul from the new Auckland scenery made by Flightbeam up to San Francisco, California. Today we're using the 787-10 with the heavy division mod. Also, as you can see behind us, we do have the new AIG traffic plugin installed. So this does give a much more live feeling to all the airports and the video. As you can see, we have aircraft taking off, and it looks like we have a 787 taxiing back over here. But currently we have the battery connected as well as external power. We just have the logo light on and nav lights on. We still haven't done any pre-flight, no walk-arounds or anything like that. So we still need to get the flight plan entered into FMC, load up all the fuel. We have about 193,000 pounds of fuel to get this flight completed. So we're gonna load on the fuel, do our pre-flight, pushback, and depart out of Auckland, and then head over to San Francisco. For most of the flight, we will be over the Pacific Ocean. We're going to be a couple hundred miles away from Hawaii, going over the Pacific. But yeah, that's pretty much sums up the flight. So we can head into the cockpit and start our pre-flight. You can also see in front of me that we are in the Air New Zealand All Blacks livery, which is a pretty rare livery to see in the Air New Zealand fleet. I've been waiting for Flightbeam to release this scenery so I could just fly this livery for you guys. Also, if you cannot tell already, all the aircraft have custom sounds for each aircraft. So as you can see, the A320 flying by has a custom A320 sound. The Neo also has a different sound, which is pretty cool. Alright, we are in the cockpit. As you can see, we already have the external power connected. I'm gonna go ahead and get the APU started. Also get some dome lights on, and then you need to get some stuff entered into the FMC. Alright, we have the airport entered into the pause init page. We also need to get the IRSs aligned. Alright, we can go ahead and put this position in here. Let's also make sure the align time is set to real. I think that should be back here. Alright, for our routes, all we have to do is request it from SimBrief. So we hit that, and all of the waypoints will populate into there. As you can see, the FMC also did get an update. There's some new pop-ups here at the bottom that are a bit more realistic. Alright, looks like we have most of the flight plan in there. Departures, that is correct. We have the IDZEM transition. Let's go go back here, make sure our arrival is correct. We're going to arrive on runway 28 right with the Pirate 2 star and the Cine transition. Let's go back to route, activate, and execute. Make sure there's no discons in here. And that looks good. Alright, so now that we have the basic stuff entered into the FMC, I'm going to go ahead and program the rest of the pre-flight stuff that we need. Alright, so for our cruise altitude, going to be climbing up to flight level 330. Along our route, we will step up and climb to about 39,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get the flight directors on, and VNAV can come on. Go ahead and set the speed to about 190. We can also get the fuel pumps on. And beacon light can come on, as well as the seatbelt sign. Also, before we do push back, I do want to do a pre-flight walk around, make sure everything's good on the exterior of the aircraft, and this does give me an opportunity to check the lights, as well as the beacon light. Looks like we are ready to push back, so we can go ahead and get the jet bridge disconnected and start our push. Alright, the tug is connecting. Alright, we can go ahead and turn off the parking brake. And starting push. Start engines 1 and 2 at the same time. 2 good engine starts. Let's go ahead and set the parking brake and go to flaps 20. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do a flight control test. Full left, full right, full forward, full back, left rudder, right rudder. Our flight controls are correct and free. Alright, we can go ahead and release the parking brake, turn on our taxi lights, and we should be good to go. We do have a China Airlines A350 taking off right now. Yeah, they're on their takeoff roll right now. Alright, we're gonna hold short here for this A320. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my taxi lights so we don't blind the passengers. Alright, we're gonna continue our taxi. Alright, we're gonna wait for this A320 lineup. We're gonna use the HUD for takeoff. We can also get the dome light off. Get our landing lights on. Turn off strobes and wing light. little short here. Alright, we are ready for takeoff. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out on the map here a little bit, make sure weather and traffic is on, and bring the throttles up to about 40%. And toga. Stick pressure until about 80 knots. Alright, we can bring back the yoke. Do a little bit of wind here. Coming up on V1. Positive brake here, come up. Up a notch of flaps. Bring up a couple more notches of flaps. Go flaps 10. And autopilot. Don't need the HUD anymore. Flaps can go clean. There's Auckland off to our left. So the remainder of this flight is pretty much just flying over the water. We're just going to be climbing to 33,000 feet, leveling off, and then cruising over the Pacific, and that's about it. I'll get back to you guys back when we are at our cruise altitude. Alright, we are at our cruise altitude of 33,000 feet. As you can see here, our next waypoint is ISDEM. And then we will continue up across the Pacific into San Francisco. So I'll touch base with you guys somewhere in the middle of the cruise altitude or right before we descend. Alright everyone, welcome back. As you can see, we're on the coast of California right now, 11 hours later from when I last checked in. So as you can see, our top of descent is coming up now. I have our initial descent set to flight level 210, and for our approach today we will be doing flaps 25 at, I believe, 153 it looks like. So that's what our approach today is going to look like. As you can see, the weather out in California is pretty calm. We just have some high level clouds and a bit of low level clouds out there, so we should have a pretty smooth approach. And let's go ahead and head on down. Alright, it looks like we need to get some speed brakes out so we can continue the descent. So let's go ahead and start that. Go ahead and bring the speed back to 210 knots. So it looks like at Pirate we are supposed to be at 15,000 feet. set that in the box. And we have full speed brakes. Let's go ahead and slow down to like 200. Alright, we are coming up on Pirate here. Go ahead and bring the speed brakes back down. One mic can come on. For today, we're going to do auto brake to 2. Alright, for running, we're supposed to be at 12,000 feet. We will overshoot, looks like a few of these waypoints, but we can do some S-turns if we need to. Here's San Francisco off our nose. Alright, I'm gonna do a bit of a steeper descent here. Down to about 9,000 feet. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and descend down to 8,000 feet. Turn VNAV back on and get a notch of flaps in. Alright, we're making our turn toward the airport. Go ahead and go down to 5,000 feet. I go ahead and control the speed now. Let's go down to about 180. Final VRF speed is going to be 153. Looks like we're probably gonna have to do some S-turns here to get low enough for the approach. I'm gonna go ahead and turn out to the right a bit more. Do heading select. San Jose International Airport off to our nose. Once we get down to about 5,000 feet, I'm going to go ahead and turn back toward the airport. Alright, we can go ahead and turn back. Actually, might as well just go direct 7. Go back into LNAV. Let's go 4,500 feet. Alright, so we're about to maintain this altitude until about waypoint Aximal. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and bring back the speed to 170. We can go ahead and go flaps 20. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take control here. See, we do need some speed brakes out. And we bring back our speed to our final approach speed, which is 153. Flaps to 30, actually 25. And we can bring our gear down right above this San Mateo bridge here. Descend a bit more. Alright, bring the gear down. And auto brake, or speed brakes can get armed. Alright, looks like we're lined up. We have 2 whites, 2 Just gotta keep this lined up. Thousand feet, Mr. Bush altitude set. Slight corrections. Alright, I'm gonna take over the throttles.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Alright, we are down. Reversers can come out. And we can take this first exit here on the left. Left is clear. Right is also clear. We have lots of heavy traffic back here. Go ahead and take this gate right here to our left. Headshake is set. APU is on. Go ahead and shut down the engines.